Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Kaale, Clyde the Wanderer. And that was the intro of my guest. Um, I forgot her name. I'm sorry. Oh wow.
Rebecca.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Rebecca. I go by Ms. But I have been doing bodybuilding for about 2 years. I started off trying to be a better athlete in football and fell in love with bodybuilding.
Yeah. You a professional football player, like women's
I was
football player?
I was playing for the San Diego Rebellion. It's a women's professional football league tackle. And I got injured, so I had to. I wanted to train from going or to go from a line woman to a skill player. And in the time of when I met my coach, when I started training, that's when I fell in love with bodybuilding, and I said I didn't want to do football no more. So,
Out of curiosity, what made you want to do football, real quick?
well, what I learned through my fitness journey is all I was looking for was a connection because I was a stay-at-home depressed mom, and I just wanted to I needed people. I'm definitely a extrovert, so I wanted to have that connection, and I found out that that's what I was trying to get through football, and then I realized I didn't really love football.
Oh, okay. All right. This wasn't like paid, like you wasn't getting paid. It was just like an activity that you wanted to do.
Well, with football, they're starting to be well known. They're getting up there. I'm very proud of them. As a women's sport, it's not, people don't even know it exists.
Yeah.
Some people don't. And some players, I believe, do get paid now, depending on what level you are. But yeah, you have to pay to play for football. But it was something I did enjoy in the moment.
Yeah. I know about lingerie football. They wear the skimpy outfits and they just tackle the living crap out of each other and all that stuff. You know.
Oh, I
I
broke
don't
my
think I seen.
tailbone.
Huh?
That wasn't lingerie. It was full like NFL style
Oh,
women's football. But
oh.
but yeah, you break things. We've had concussions. We hit hard.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. And what was your position?
I was a center right guard. So when you play a women's football league, they tend to fall short on the roster. So you have to pick up more than one position, practice more than one position. When I did semi-pro in Virginia, I I started as right guard and moved to center, and then here in San Diego, I was aiming for. It was my first year with them. I was aiming for right guard.
Oh, and how long you played again?
Well, I played 2 semi-pro years, full years, and
Oh,
then it was in my first year, so only 3, I guess. But the third year, I guess you can't really count because I got injured at the beginning of the season with a broken tailbone, and that's what put me into bodybuilding.
Whew, okay. So enough of that. um cuz I mean like even as a man, you know, I wouldn't want to play football like the way the guys get hit and
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So I mean I played football when I was younger, but not like that. I wasn't like gifted or anything, athletically gifted or anything like that. I just played to just to just to get to know people and stuff. So, you know.
Well, I was aiming for being different. You know, there's not many women in football. There's not many women in bodybuilding. It's growing for sure, but I like to just I don't want to be like anybody else.
Yeah.
I don't.
What
So that's my goal.
yeah. What was your bodybuilding journey like when you first competed?
Well, my first show ever was a transformation show, and at that point, I believe I lost 60 pounds. I'm coming from football on the line. You know, you're a bigger woman. Um, I met. So what happened is we're a military family, so I was on base at the gym, and I needed a trainer to help me become the best skill player ever.
Yeah.
And he started training me, but he's a coach um, for a bodybuilding team, very popular in the NBA. And he started training me, and that's when I was like, you know what, I kind of don't love football, and I love bodybuilding. So I started training with him, and that's what sparked it. That's what started it because our team is more like a family. Like
Yeah.
if you ever feel like you're falling back or anything, you call anybody that's on the team. You call any of the coaches. We have multiple coaches, and it's just it started there. That's where it started. I lost 100, or my first show, I lost, I want to say, I can't remember. I have to look back at it, but it was like 60, maybe 70 pounds. It was a transformation category. So it was just about to say, this is my life. This is where I came from. You know, I had a speech. It was exhilarating. You know, I've always wanted to model, never felt like I was pretty enough, good enough.
Yeah.
And I fulfilled that dream just being on stage. And honestly, in that moment, as I was thanking God for everything, I realized this is what I wanted to do. This
Yeah.
was where I was supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean your organization is very different.
Mhm.
It kind of reminds me of the WBFF. Like it's another organization. They do modeling and bodybuilding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have multiple categories. My main category now, to go pro, I could go pro in sports model, because I have the sport background. I love sports model. That's just me.
Yeah.
I don't care. Honestly, I don't care about anyone else on stage. When I'm on stage, it's just me doing me. And then I do evening gown because that's the modeling part in me. You can't
Yeah.
go pro in that, but I can definitely go up there and I can strut my stuff. And you know, that's just my element. I love to model. So that's what I do. And, you know, my last show, I got first place in evening gown. And I tell my coach all the time, you know, that's me. I own that. Like that evening gown is just who I am. I don't know how to explain it. It sucks you can't go pro in it, but it's like
Yeah.
my beauty pageant for me.
Do you think that that would kind of like attract like the audience, like people like on TV or like regular society?
I
Because
think I think INBA in general, yes,
yeah,
because we have so many different categories. It's like watching the Olympics. So you have, you know, the classic categories, and then you have the one I didn't know about until, you know, this past year when I started doing it, was the sports model. And I was like, well, that's nice because then you have a little bit, it's like a little bit of everything. And if we were able to go live on and broadcast that like on a bigger screen, I think a lot of people would be attracted to watching that.
yeah, yeah. Because you know, like bodybuilding, like what's this organization? I'm gonna say regular bodybuilding, enhanced bodybuilding. You
Mhm.
know, it's more of a it doesn't attract, you know, society like that, you know. It
Well, and
before no, go
I
ahead.
think people, they just don't. I don't think it has the. It's. I think it's bigger than it was, you know, in the past. I think that because it's not maybe. What am I trying to say? promoted enough maybe in mainstream
Yeah.
that that's why it's not well known. But I think if there was a place people knew that they could go to and watch it, I really do believe that people would be interested in watching that. It's so motivating. If I ever
Yeah.
feel like I'm in a rut, or I'm not sticking to my plan like I'm supposed to, I pop in like, well, now I'm old school. I don't pop in no videos because everything's online, but
Yeah.
I turn on Arnold Schwarzenegger like documentaries or whatever because they're very motivating.
Yeah. 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 Do you watch like IFBB or?
I it on Instagram if it comes across my screen. On Facebook I follow a lot of like maybe over 100 bodybuilders from all different types of leagues.
Yeah.
I um I honestly I don't even know where to stream like the IFBB or anything any other leagues really. That's kind of weird
Yeah.
that now that I'm thinking about that. But that's the problem. I think if it were to be more mainstream or on Hulu or Netflix, the popular streaming services had it on there, I'm 100% sure that people would watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. 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 Your division, I mean, it seems interesting. I mean, because you dress up and you pose like how many poses do you do in your division?
Well, in sports model, you can do it's kind of there's a basic you follow, but you
Right.
can add in your own poses. It's not as set as it would be in like wellness for the lower body. There's certain poses you have to do. So bodybuilding or not bodybuilding, sports model is a little bit more free with that as well as evening gown. So mine's a little easier, I guess you could say, when it comes to the posing because I can kind of pick it. I mean, I still have to practice my poses, but it's kind of your own personality you put into it. Uh, but yeah, I mean,
How do you make it work? Like, excuse me if I'm trying to understand it because
mhm,
it's different. Because I'm used to like looking at other divisions, like other organizations. This is
mhm.
like it's modeling and it's
Well,
bodybuilding.
not, I want to say because I am newer to the INBA, I want to say like 90%, maybe even more, is like the traditional, like what you'd see at IFBB,
Oh,
IFBA.
okay.
Can't even
All
talk.
right.
Uh, but I'm just a little different because my story is very different from most. It's really hard to go from being someone who is considered obese and then a bodybuilder. Like, my story isn't like most people. Most of the people on my team are in wellness, or physique or classic. Uh, they do the traditional ones, which is probably what you're used to seeing. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm a little bit different from most because I feel like I'm my whole goal in life is to motivate other people because I never loved myself until I hit the stage the first time. And as I was standing on stage, I was like, dang, I really love me. I was 35. So I didn't love myself until I turned 35 years old. So I consider myself as more of a motivation. If I go up there and win nothing, I don't care because stepping on stage I won already. I'm in the 1 percentile that even does this. So I'm just different from the most of the people you probably spoke with because they do the traditional, categories that you're used to seeing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just learning more of the sport, I seen you and it kind of like intrigued me a bit because you're doing like the gown and
Mhm.
and the posing and stuff on stage. And so yeah, that's what made me want to reach out to you because it was just different and it's nothing wrong with different, trust me.
Mhm.
Yeah, like yeah, I was aware. I looked at your Instagram and you was telling one lady that you played football, then
Mhm.
you got injured, and then you started doing bodybuilding, and
Mhm.
and I seen you was very obese. I mean, yeah, like how was that for you? Like like just working out, like just trying to eat right and just working out. Was you working out like even when you was in football?
Yeah, but it was a
No.
different workout. You were
Okay.
doing like the hurdle or not hurdles. I can't even think of it. Like the ladder trainings and stuff like that you would do in football versus lifting weights. Honestly, my success comes from my coach and my team because they say it takes a family to raise a child. Well, it takes a family to become a successful bodybuilder. We are truly like family. And with it was hard. I'm not gonna say it was ever easy. However, once I was locked in and I knew, married to my husband, I've tried many things over the years and I've always not failed, but quit. Oh, this is too hard. I don't want to do it. And I looked at him three months in to my journey and I said, wow, I was like, I'm trying to convince him at some point because he's used to seeing me quit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I swear, I'm in on this. I got this. And I will never forget. He looked at me and goes, I know you have this. You have this one, and it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it because not that he ever cared that I quit on things, but, like he was proud of me in that moment. It made me feel so good. But having my I call it my family, having my team and everyone there kept me motivated and on track. And, eventually I am going to move into the wellness, or physique or whatever categories I choose to move into in the future. But right now, my goal is sports model. And I have muscles. I'm just coming off season. So,
Yeah, I mean, you
but
look nice. I
I'm,
mean,
I'm growing.
yeah, you have a nice physique. I mean, you seem like you have potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say maybe your team, your bodybuilding team is like your family, your new family.
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got a guest all the way, George Page. Good afternoon. How you doing, George? Yeah, so what's like your training like how often do you work out?
Well, I wake up in the morning. I go to a 4-hour job. It's something real simple. So I get my workouts in. My workouts typically are from like 10:30 a.m. to like 1, maybe 2, depending on how much cardio I want to do that day. But I go in, I lift probably up to 6 times a week. I do an Arnold split sometimes. It just depends on whatever my trainer has me on. He literally tells me what to eat and what to do in the gym. And I've known that as long as I follow what he tells me to do, I don't fail.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Like what's your coach name?
Coach Saya, he's with the Deadly
Yeah.
Fit team, which you've probably seen on my Instagram.
Yeah. Well, we could take a little trip to your Instagram. I was looking at some of your Instagram, but check it out for those, for the viewers and stuff. So, can you see this?
No, I cannot. Not yet. It's loading.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can see it now.
All right. So we're here, and
That's my first show ever. That's losing
okay.
60 pounds.
How was that for you? Like your first show?
That was the day I realized that's the day I realized I'm a bodybuilder. Like I'm doing it. I'm quitting. That I loved myself that day. Stepping on stage was my day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't look too bad. Yeah, like you giving a speech. They've been with me through the whole process. Okay. All right. Yeah. This is cool. Yeah. Like, are you aware that, do they have like a fitness model division and outside your organization, or you're not?
They have, I mean, in my division, INBA, I know they have fitness category. You have to do like a routine on stage to show your strength and everything. I don't see many people enter that one yet. That's something I've been dabbling in, thinking about. But I mean, in our category, I know they have that.
Oh,
I'm a model. Huh?
No, I was gonna ask you like how many like competitors that be on stage with you.
It depends. I've had up to 5 to 6 per category. My first show last year, I believe there was 6 each category. So I had 6 with me on stage for a sports model, and then I had 6 with me on stage for an evening gown.
Yeah, this is nice. Like, who make your outfits?
This one I got from a dance studio.
Oh yeah,
I'm still not that I've lost a lot of weight, so I have skin. So when it
yeah,
comes to my legs, I do have I don't want to call them insecurities anymore with my, because I know that that's just progress. That means I did something. I
yeah.
do intend to get the skin removed at some point. But I that's why I have the little skirt on there. But I got that from a dance studio. The
Right.
one that you had up there with me in my green uniform, I that's a company I model for, actually. It's a fitness, a brand
Which one?
called
Like
Ammunique.
show.
The one you showed, it's a newer, well, any of these that have Ammunique on them. So like you'd have to go up a little more. Like these right here where it shows the black outfit, and then it was a stage uniform.
Okay.
But Ammunique does all of my fitness right here, this green one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a um or from Ammunique. And they stand for being unique. So that's why it's called
Yeah.
Ammunique.
When you was
But
overweight, was you dealing with a lot of like was it like difficult for you to move, like how it
yeah,
is like?
well,
Well,
I started feeling like something was wrong. I felt like I was in my 60s.
oh
I
yeah.
couldn't move as well. Even as a football player, I was like, come on. I was working out, but I wasn't working out, I guess, the way I was supposed to, because I didn't have the best guidance. When you're in
Right.
football and you're not getting paid, the coaches aren't getting paid necessarily either. So you kind of just go with what you can, and they can't give you one-on-one time, you know. So I was training the best I could, but wasn't enough.
Right.
But yeah, I felt miserable. I'd lose my breath just walking up my stairs. My knees would hurt. My knees never hurt anymore. Like they don't.
Yeah. You dancing in front of well, not in front of your husband, but around your husband and stuff. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I tend to put him in a lot of
Yeah.
videos he doesn't
Did
want.
he go to your first show, or
He's gone to all of them except for the
yeah?
one I went to and did the
How
Grand.
was his?
Hmm.
Okay, what was his reaction like when you was on stage?
Well, he typically never has emotion, as you can see from the video, but
Oh,
he was yelling for me, he was cheering. It was happy for me to see that. He's so proud of me. He's always been my
yeah,
support. If he thinks I'm slacking, he'll be like, babe, you should go to the gym. You didn't go to the gym today. Are you gonna go? He's always got the kids. Like you know what I mean? We make it work for us, and he's always
yeah.
supporting me.
Wow, wow. This was like a long journey for you.
Well, no, this right here is my sister. She lost weight too.
Oh, oh, okay. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, you're fine.
Okay.
I
All
just
right.
posted her on there because I'm a fitness motivation page is pretty much what I have.
So are you a fitness trainer?
Yes, I am now.
Oh,
But
okay.
I
Like,
train people who are I'm interested in helping people who are overweight and considered obese. I'm not really into training bodybuilders, which is kind of funny because I'm a bodybuilder, but that doesn't mean I want to train that. I just want people to understand that the people I train, that it's okay. You can love yourself and you can be healthy because, anyone can do it. You just have to know how to do it. And I
yeah,
feel like I know how to teach that.
yeah. I mean, like the experience I have had with like being overweight when I was a teenager, and I was taking you know medical drugs. I'm gonna leave it like that, and
Mhm.
that kind of got me big, and I was like 200, like over 200 pounds, like 215. And like for me to lose the weight, I played basketball a lot.
Mhm.
Then from basketball, I just started working out. But even then, I still wasn't eating healthy or anything like that. I didn't know what nutrition was
Mhm.
till like one day, I went to get a checkup, and the doctor told me my cholesterol was high. And then I was trying to be a vegetarian and stuff.
Mhm.
And so, but it was still a lot of work. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, I
Yeah,
have an alarm that goes off on my phone to remind me every day and it's an AI voice, and she's like 80% diet, 20% exercise. So that it reminds me that's a real ratio, that you can do everything you want in the gym, but you can't out exercise a bad diet, if I said that right. But
yeah,
so it's a reminder. So I have these little things that I do to keep me on track and motivated. But yeah, I love just telling people, because I live in California now.
yeah,
So what's really big here right now? Ozempic. So people tend to ask me often, did you take Ozempic? Did you have any help? And I'm like, no surgeries, no drugs, and nothing against those. Because my sister, who you showed a minute ago, she's had the gastric bypass. And I'm not saying anything against the people who've used those things. I'm actually really proud of myself that I didn't.
yeah,
However, I do still struggle. Like, if you had the surgery and you were successful, because that's a 5 percentile stay in success after a long-term success after gastric bypass surgery. So being in that such low deficit, like if you are actually successful, that's amazing. You still have a small stomach. It's still, it's been cut, half of it's been, cut off. But for me, I feel like I have a little more of a challenge because I don't have those things I can fall back on. If I start cheating, or I shouldn't even use the word cheating. I don't like that word. But if I start eating things I shouldn't eat, it can get out of control, and I can, balloon back up. I had binge eating disorder. I was on medication for binge eating disorder.
mm,
And I told my doctor I didn't want to take it anymore because it made me, speed, and it was crazy. It was like I was on legal meth or something. And I didn't like taking it. So I was taken off of that way before my fitness journey began. But I'm proud of the fact that I did it
yeah,
just, high protein, low carb diet, and sticking to the gym. When I'm depressed or upset, the gym is the only thing that really relieves that from me. And I
yeah,
miss it. I literally miss it if I don't go.
yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah, look at yeah, losing weight is a tough battle. Sometimes there are just many successes as failures. And he also says wellness fits your body stature. Yeah, I think you
That's
would
what
be.
everyone says.
Yeah, I think you have that wellness potential and stuff. Yeah.
Wait until I get the skin removed. You may not say that. You don't know.
I
I mean,
mean,
I do have muscle. I do have muscle under there.
yeah, I mean, I don't think you look too bad. Like, yeah, yeah, it's not. Yeah,
Yeah, that's hard work right there. That's all I
yeah,
know.
yeah. That's an improvement. Like just looking at you, wow. Like, like how big were you? Like, I've seen a picture. I don't know.
I
There's
know
a
they're like older in my.
yeah. There's a clip I could play just to
Mhm.
check it out. How was you when you was younger? Like as a like a teenager, was you big?
Um, no, I was probably smaller than I am now, or
Um,
probably about the same as I am now without the skin and stuff. But I was pretty thin growing up, and then I had a young marriage, and I am not blaming men, but when you tend well, it was a stressful marriage. We ended up not lasting, and I got divorced at 21. But in that
yeah,
marriage, I had a baby and I got big, and then I lost 60 pounds on my own. And then I met my husband now, and he is amazing. I've been with him, this year is going to be 11 years. And he, even through he loved me at my worst. So he definitely deserves me at my best. But he made me happy. So I gained weight. And it's kind of like a flip flop, because I was like, oh, I was a depressed stay at home mom. But when he was near me, he was like my Xanax. He was my, my help, my depression, antidepressant medication. Like he was there for me. But when he's he's in the military, deployments, things like that, you get lonely. And I gained the weight back and more. So I started at 262 pounds. My lowest, which is my lowest stage weight, which was 162. So I lost 100 pounds for that last show. My goal is to get 150-ish, or actually, I think my goal is less weight based. But if I were to be, the BMI scale, which I don't agree with, especially when you lift weights, it says 150, 145, I think is my, healthy BMI. But with the fact that I lift weights, I'm aiming more for 160. But once I get the skin removed, which is probably maybe 5-10 pounds, I think I'm going to be right about that. And then I'm ready to even put on more muscle. And every year I always tell my trainer, I'm like, I can't wait to see me in 1 year. I can't wait to see me in 1 year. So every January, I'm like, wait till you see me next year, because a lot has changed. I've seen people that worked out for, a lot of those people you see on stage, either weren't obese, or they weren't, maybe at the obese as I was, or they've worked out their whole life, or always been fit, always been athletic. So I do have a longer road. I started from, further back than most, and that's okay, because I understand that. And I know that just every year, I'm just excited to see what, the next year is going to bring me, because I've seen people say, oh, this was me 2 years ago, this is me now. And it doesn't happen overnight. And I understand that.
Yeah. How far do you see yourself bodybuilding?
I'm not looking as far as like how big I get or how in shape I get. It's more of age. So I want to do it into my 40s. So probably another 10 years. But also depends on, where the military takes us, and what opportunities I get through that. So this is our first station where I've actually came out of my box and have been happy, and have so many friends, so many people that actually care about me and love me. And I plan to do that everywhere I go. But here has opened up a lot of opportunities, like the fact that I'm a brand ambassador / model for Unique. I have a whole bodybuilding team. I'm just wanting to grow more and more and more. So I don't know. My plan is into like maybe 45-ish.
Okay.
Do bodybuilding up until then.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Like just you improving yourself, and you becoming like a fitness trainer. Like, how many clients do you have? Like, or
Well, we're about to move. So I do
okay.
offer online, but I haven't promoted it because we're moving. I do have one client. It's only one, but I don't care. They pay money.
Yeah.
And she's a very nice lady. So I'm not, like I said, I got my cert about 6 months ago, and I've only posted it once, and I got somebody, and then I haven't really promoted it because we're moving and we don't know where we're going. As soon as he gets his orders and we know if we're staying in the States or leaving the States, that's when, wherever we're heading, I'm going to put some money into marketing and promoting in that location.
What branch your husband is in the military?
Marine Corps.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I remember I tried to do the ASVAB test. I was never that good. So shout
I'm
out to him.
dyslexic, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
I mix
Yeah.
numbers up.
Yeah. I mean, like for like nutrition, like when you was competing, like how did you stick to your diet? Like what foods you ate?
It was a lot of, it depends. We go through it. Honestly, it's whatever my coach thinks. That he literally looks at each person individually,
Yeah.
and he says, what does she need? It's not so much a cookie cutter. He's not like, okay, everyone, we're all doing this. It's nothing like that. But for me, I was on, tilapia at one point. The go-to I like, because this is what started my journey, was tilapia, egg whites, spinach, and sweet potatoes. And I'm okay with that. I used to hate sweet potatoes. Now I love them, because I eat a lot of sugar or anything. So that little bit of sweetness is like a fix for me. So leading up to shows, it's, it's lean meat and low carb. So anything like that. It changes every time. So I can't give you like a set.
And how many weeks would you go on prep for a show?
I'm in prep now actually,
Oh,
but my show's not until April, and that it's up in the air because we don't know, with us moving, and then we're trying to sell a house and all this stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing that show, but I'm prepping like I am. I would say 8 to 12 weeks
oh,
before a show you start the prep. It really, like I said, it just depends. Some people just stay. Some people, my trainer, man, he looks like he's in prep 24/7.
yeah,
Uh, I always tell people his nose has muscles. Like he's so buff. But he so it just depends on, it's definitely a case by case.
yeah. That's wow. That's wow. I mean, do you be feel? I'm gonna ask you a straight question. Do you feel depleted, or when you on prep or anything like that?
Well, I want to say you learn through bodybuilding, and the last
Yeah.
show that I did exactly 100% like he told me to. Um, and I felt like crap like the day before. And it was a good feeling like crap. Like I was like,
Yeah.
wow, so yeah, I definitely feel depleted, tired, exhausted. And then that morning, if you even can, well, I can sleep. Some people can't sleep, but I pass out because I'm tired. But that next morning when we're getting ready for the show, I'm ready. Like I want to wake up and walk straight on stage. I'll be in my pajamas and everything because I'm just like ready for it that next day. So that one day of absolute exhaustion, I had anxiety because you're depleted, you're on distilled water or low water intake, and I had anxiety. I was like, oh my gosh. But once I slept it off the next morning, I was just, I don't know, it's so weird how you can be energized but tired at the same time.
Yeah. I was thinking about want to play something with on your Facebook page for a
Mhm.
second. Yeah, you was being interviewed by this lady. I passed by it. Um yeah, that's when I was listening to your story. So we could play that. Let me see if I see it. Let me see what not do handing out. Okay, this is it. My fault.
No,
Oh
I think
no.
it's the other
This is
one.
it.
It's, yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah, this is it.
24, and I am here with a great champion already. She hasn't gone on stage, but she has an amazing story. And this is why I am standing here with this book, because we had a little chat and she told me she lost 100 pounds. And I was like, yeah, girl, we need to get this and we need to talk about it. And we all have a story, and I wanted to gift you this.
Thank you.
Because it's all about rescuing yourself, and you are totally rescuing yourself. Let's hear it. What made you do this change?
Actually, I got injured I was a professional, playing professional football tackle.
Oh, wow.
I got broke my tailbone, and then I
Okay.
started training to be a better player. And with that, I found my coach, which is with the Royal
The
Family.
Royal Family,
Mhm.
which is a huge group here, and it's all about just helping one another. And usually it's military based, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
And he just watching him and how the family worked, I fell in love with bodybuilding. So I hung up the cleats and picked up the dumbbells.
And so you started losing weight.
Exactly.
And so here at the Natural Olympia, everything's natural. We are WADA tested, guys. Now, this is the same testing they do at the Olympics. Now, our goal and the goal of the president of this organization that's been around for over 35 years, guys, the goal is to put it in the Olympics. Would that not be amazing?
That would be
because
amazing.
it is about getting America healthy again. Let's talk about it. Let's really get down and dirty. If we don't have our health, we don't have anything. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Because we can have all the money in the world, but if you're not healthy, now you're not going to be able to spend that money, right? You're not going to be able to enjoy that and make those memories with the people that really matter. And, for me, again, we all have stories. I'm 52 years old. I'm way older than you, but I want to be around for my grandkids, and I already have them. You have such a beautiful, beautiful future ahead of you because you let go of all that excess. 100 pounds, that's like a whole me next to her. Like what
Exactly.
the heck? You lost a half.
I was 50% body
Yeah,
fat.
and that's the excess we need to let go. So come on, world. I mean, we have athletes from around the world, over 30 athletes just in this competition, which is the epic Pinnacle Natural Olympia, and over 300 athletes from around the world. So what a stage. Everyone is already a winner. So again, congratulations. And tell
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's cool. Like, how was that feeling? Like being interviewed by her?
I love interviews. So, because she's well known in the INBA, she does a lot of the interviews, and I felt honored. She's an amazing person. Her book is good too, by the way.
Yeah.
But she's an amazing person. So I definitely felt honored when she asked if she could do an interview with me. I honestly, as much as I love being on stage and I love, the interviews and I love, modeling for Ammunique and everything, the number one thing I enjoy the most is the multiple messages I get after posting things like that and saying, "Oh my gosh, how'd you do it? Can you help me?" You know, I love the motivation. I love how people say that I inspired them. I have a friend that lost 30 pounds that lives in a different state. And she had messaged me. She said, "I wasn't going to go to the gym today. And then I seen you post this." It's so like, and I don't get paid to do that. I do it
Yeah.
because I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. But I just love motivating people. I love inspiring people because I want them to feel as good as I feel.
Yeah. Would you say this is like your new passion?
Oh, 100%. I talk
Yeah.
about it all the time. Anytime I meet someone new, I'll be like, "Yeah, my name's Rebecca and I'm a bodybuilder." No, I'm just joking. But it always tends to come up somehow.
Yeah, I mean, you're close to it. I mean, yeah, you're close to a bodybuilder. Yeah, Ben Weeder tried to get bodybuilding into the Olympics. It's not as popular and mainstream enough to get attention. Yeah, and he also says nice dress for room.
Thank you. I was handing out awards at that ceremony. That's why she said I didn't step on stage. I was
how,
doing the award.
how you like being in a dress and doing the poses, how you built that confidence to just do that, if I could
My
ask you that
team.
question?
I'm telling you
Huh?
right now, it's my team. I don't go into they know more about they don't even know 50% of my childhood, but they do know some of it. And I was told a lot that I was ugly, and I was told a lot that I wasn't good enough. And I'm gonna cry a little. My team, my coach, Coach Saya, Coach Eli, just Coach Matt. There's so many coaches, but they are just amazing, and they will not allow you to call yourself fat. They will not allow you to say that you're ugly because no matter who you are who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have to love what God gave you. You can't change it in the sense of like being someone different. You're always gonna look at someone and be like, "Ooh, I wish I had quads like them. I wish I had that. I wish I didn't have this skin. I wish I didn't have this." But at the end of the day, you are who you are, and you have to love it. It's my team. My team is what kept me going. My team is what made me love myself, build my confidence, and let me know that I am good enough.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, I mean, I wish you the best. Yeah, I would love to talk with you. Somewhere down the line.
Yeah,
See
for sure.
how far your
Give me a
competition.
year.
Yeah, yeah. So like, is the one on April, the show on April, is that like the only show that you have set in mind?
No, I have the Iron Gladiator. Now that's the one in April, but if I don't do that one, I'm definitely doing another one. My goal is to the show that you see me doing the interview at, I want to be in
Yeah.
that show this year. In order to be in that show, you have to do 2 qualifying shows. So the other one I'm going to do, which is the one you saw in the green uniform or that I was wearing, that's the Oceanside, California show, and that's should I believe in August. And I am gonna fly there and do that one. That's where I started. That's my show. So that's my second one that I'm aiming for. But if I don't do the Iron Gladiator, I will find another show this year to do. And if they have to be back to back like last year's were, then they just so be it. But I want to do the Olympia, even if it's not because they have a amateur day and they have a pro day. So even if I'm an amateur, I don't care. Like I said, stepping on stage is a win for me.
Yeah. Do like it, like besides the IMBA, is there another natural bodybuilding show that you compete in also?
There isn't. However, I heard, and I'm not going to get the name right because I don't remember the name of
Yeah.
it, but I heard that there is one for transformations only.
Okay.
And it's only a 1 year or one show a year league. It's not like a league, I guess, but they only do one show and it's people from all different leagues.
Right.
And they compete in it, and it's only for transformations. Definitely, like I cannot think of it, but I believe it's in San Diego, or in not San Diego, but in California somewhere, or Texas.
I I was talking to a young lady months back, and she participated in a transformation show. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think she lives in the San Diego area. She's a nice lady. Yeah, she was telling me about that, and I think another woman. She also told me like when she first started, she did like a transformation
I mean,
show.
why not? You mean you
Yeah,
just show people where it's like it's the most amazing feeling.
yeah,
I was all for it,
yeah.
or I'm all for that.
Yeah, because it's like you don't really you don't really it's hard to you see I'm an outsider, I just kind of like look at the OCB and the IFBB and that's it, but there's a lot of other organizations I don't know about,
Mhm.
so it's like I seen
Yeah, there's some I don't
your
even know. Yeah.
organization. Yeah, yeah, it's because not too many, bodybuilding. It's not really, a popular sport like that.
Yeah.
People don't really know too much about it. They are fans, but I don't
And
know
it's
if
it's
they're
so
educated
sad
enough.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, I he's somebody. What is the thing that inspires Rebecca to stay disciplined? That's a good question.
Oh, that's an easy answer. Um, what inspires me to stay focused is I literally think back to how I felt before my journey started, and the self-hate I had, the depression, the how I felt like I wasn't a good mother. I felt like I wasn't a good wife. And it totally turned around. So I just think back, do I want to go there again? Do I want to be like that? Do I want to struggle as a now 37-year-old to walk up my stairs? Like it's not even that steep, like I don't want to do that again. So that's what keeps me motivated, is just to be a better wife and a better mother.
Do you like suffer through body dysmorphia at
So I
times?
think everyone does.
Oh, okay. I just
um,
asking that.
It depends. If I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, it does suck. I look at it this way. My insurance won't cover skin removal. And like I said, nothing against those who take Ozempic or do the surgeries and stuff, but like people who are morbidly obese, they sometimes can get
Yeah,
surgeries, medical skin removal, medically removed.
yeah,
And it sucks because, for one, I saved my insurance money by being healthier. I did everything the right way. I fought so hard, and I can't even get, like, I feel like I'm still struggling. Why do I have to fight to get, do you know what I'm saying? Like, to get like a skin removal surgery. Why is it so hard for me to do that when I did everything the right way? Or
right.
not saying any other, that's wrong terminology, because I'm not saying it's the wrong way any other way, but I felt like I did it the healthiest, most possible way you can do it without side effects. And it's hard. It's that part, it really messes with me. But my husband, like I said, he's really good and he's a positive influence. He just says, look, You can't have it both ways. You can't be healthy and everything and then be 100, like you can't have it both ways. So you want to be healthy, you're healthy. You want to be fit, you're fit. He's like, look at it as this is how far you've come, rather this is what I've got out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
That's
just,
that.
I have my weak moments.
Yeah, of course. We all got our demons. Yeah, it's considered cosmetic. It's just one of the drawbacks of losing weight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do
And I
you
went
do you
through a moment. Sorry, go
not go
ahead.
ahead. No, I
Uh,
was just gonna ask you a question like do you watch the 600 pound
okay,
the
yes.
morbid
600 Pound Life. So I've
yeah
seen every episode of 600 Pound Life. I've seen every episode of 600 Pound Life. Where are they now? And there's a new season out. I'm binging right now. It's funny when you watch a show like that and in different times of your life. So before my fitness journey, I watched them, right? And I started feeling like I was like them. I would get up in the morning and like I said, I was hurting. I was like, oh my gosh, I was turning into what I was watching in a sense. That's why when I'm in peak or whatever, I watch like bodybuilder shows and things like that because it gets me motivated and on track. But anyway, now that I'm fit and I'm healthier, I watch those shows more for learning and I look at it differently. And that's why I want to help. I refer to Dr. Now. I refer to 600 Pound Life often. That's where I got the 5%, people being a success rate long term. I learn, from it. But that's why I want to help people that are obese. When I tell people I want to help obese people, I'm not talking about even at my 262, which I would help someone at 262. But I'm talking about the 4, 5, 600 pound people because I had that same mindset, even though I wasn't that big. I was at that same place, like eating fried chicken. What's wrong with me? How can like I was there mentally, and I want them to know that they can love themselves, and that's truly what I want to do as a trainer. I want to help people who are morbidly obese, and which my client now isn't even, So you always, you get what you get. I'm willing to help everyone, but that is where my passion lies.
yeah. Some people I hear some people say that they were born like that, or I don't know. You heard the story of
I really
this
feel like I know
um
what you're gonna say.
the
Go ahead.
rapper the rapper the heavy the obese rapper girl
Oh,
the girl
Lizzo.
rapper. No, not Lizzo. I forgot this girl's name. But she wanted to get a Uber. I mean, like a Lyft.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I didn't know she was a rapper, but I knew you were going to come up with that. Yeah, I definitely thought you were talking about the Lyft girl. That's
yeah,
that's ridiculous. I think
mm,
I used to do Uber. As a military spouse, my resume is very very long. I've had every job you can think of, but I used to do Uber in Virginia, and I did have an XL, which is a Traverse. I think if you are that big and you're that big, I don't think the driver was in the wrong because my sister that you seen posted whenever I was young, she sat in my car and she kind of like leaned back. Just to me, it looked like a jerk, but that's a lot of body weight you're holding, right? And she
yeah,
broke my seat. Well, she didn't break it, but it like latched backwards and clicked. So I can see why that guy would be upset. That's a lot of weight, and my sister wasn't even that big, but that's a lot of weight to put into a small car like that. And I feel like he was definitely not in the wrong. I think that she should have ordered an XL.
yeah,
Um, I mean, it's physics in a sense. I don't know. Some people say I think most people are on the driver's side when it
yeah.
comes to that situation.
She was telling her story at the Breakfast Club, and she was
Mhm.
saying what happened, and she felt that people need to be accommodated, with special needs and stuff like that. And then she said that she didn't really she's not suing the guy, she's suing the company.
Yeah, but the
So
guy lost his job because of it.
yes, I don't know.
But the thing is, if they're accommodating, that's what an XL is for. That's what
Yeah,
I don't understand. So technically, they are accommodating.
she said
Um,
she could fit in those kind of cars from what she said.
well, yeah, she could probably fit, but it could cause. But the thing is, if you want to get technical with it, I highly doubt that seatbelt fit around her, and that
Right.
sounds rude, but you know what I'm saying. So all he should have said was, sorry if that seatbelt don't fit around you, I can't, for safety reasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
I,
Yeah.
you know,
But he
And
was
that's
trying
like,
to be nice to her, from what I
yeah.
know, like from what I understand. He said it the
Hmm.
best way he could explain it to her. Like, you can't, yeah, I can't let you, I can't let you come in the car because because
Hmm.
your
And he had
weight.
those
And
little tires too. Those little
yeah,
tires with the,
he wasn't rude to her, from what I understand. He was gonna get her another a lift ride. So, but it is what it
well,
is.
from the Breakfast Club. I seen a clip of it.
Yeah,
And she had asked for a bigger seat, and
yeah,
and people were in the
yeah,
comments are like, well, that's proof right there
yeah.
that you couldn't have sat. Then the seat they pulled up wasn't just a chair;
Yeah, it
it
was
was a like
big.
little
Yeah,
couch thing.
it was
Yeah.
big. Yeah, it was big.
So
Yeah,
I'm like, there's no way she's going to win that lawsuit. I mean,
yeah,
I don't see her winning the lawsuit, but
yeah,
we're in the century of everyone. Everyone's offended nowadays. So
yeah.
maybe they might settle or something. But
I mean, she's a pretty girl. I mean, like, just for losing weight, man. I don't know. So it is what it is.
yeah.
So you got all of Pumping Iron 2, I Am the Tigress, and Too Big for This World, a good documentaries for women who are interested in bodybuilding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen Pumping Iron too. I don't know about the other ones though.
yeah. What did you think about Pumping Iron 2?
It was good. It it's like I said, it's one of those shows that I watch during peak week, so it motivates me. It makes me feel like first off, it actually made me realize that I'm probably not doing as much as I could be doing. Like I could be more strict with you know dieting and which I'm coming off of. I was coming from off season, but I'm in peak now. I only do what my coach tells me to do, but it makes you want to stay when you watch shows like that. It makes you want to stay focused and on track on your goals, because it's kind of like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of David Goggins, even though he's a little cray cray and he takes everything to the extreme. He motivates me too, because he was also at one point overweight and then lost weight and then went
Who?
way beyond.
Who you
Hmm.
said? Who you
David
said?
Goggins, he's an
David
ex
God.
Navy SEAL, I believe. He went
Oh,
through Navy SEAL training 3 times.
okay.
Um, or was it the training or I think it was, I'm reading his book, but he's pretty fascinating as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but yeah,
never.
I've also seen like Killer, what's her name? Killer something, but it was about a bodybuilder who was on steroids
Right.
and she had killed her husband or whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it was really, here is where I'm at now, is where it happened. So it's that's why it intrigued me a little bit more. And some people at the gym on base knew her personally. So anyway, so yeah, any of those types of shows are very motivating. I love watching them. Keep me
Yeah.
focused.
Is there a point where do you think that you try not to go to the extreme?
When I listen to my body, that's the only time. So there was a few times, not even a few, maybe once last year, where I was like, I was going through, I wasn't in peak week, but I was in prep, and my body said carbs. Like my body said, eat some carbs. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but when your body tells you you need something, you just I let my coach know, hey coach, my body's saying, I'm feeling this, this, and this. And then he'll say, okay, eat a 4th cup of rice or a sweet potato or something, whatever. But I try to push myself as much as I can, because I don't have time, is how I look at it. I don't have time to retreat. I don't have time to back up. I had 35 years I wasted being unhealthy, and even when I lost that 60 pounds before, I just did it by starvation in a sense. I mean, yeah, I cut calories and stuff. I didn't starve, but I just didn't do it the healthiest way, and I only did cardio. I never lifted. So, I don't have time to waste. So yeah, I'm always going hard, and then I listen to my body. If my body tells me, hey, don't go to the gym today. You need to rest. Then I rest. I just got over a cold. I had COVID. And did I go to the gym? No, because my body was like, do I miss the gym? Yes, I'm going back after I get off this interview. But I was not feeling, well. But it's not always when I'm sick. It's just, like I said, the carb incident. My body was just, I felt like I needed carbs. And it usually fixes it. I think it was a 4th cup of rice is what he told me to take just to see if it would help. And it helped. So, definitely I try to keep going. And I also have a fear of going back to binge eating disorder or going back to, and when you have an eating disorder, it sucks because you have to have food. It's one of the worst addictions because you have to have food to survive. You don't have to have alcohol. You don't have to have cocaine. You don't have to have, not saying that that's any easier because I've never had those. So I don't know how those addictions, would affect me if I were addicted. But I know with food, that's one addiction you can't, like,
I'm
sorry, I had a
addicted to
therapist.
sugar, so I mean, and it's not to cut you off, but
No,
and it's not always easy. Sometimes I like
oh, for sure.
cookies and stuff like that, ice cream and all that stuff. And then there'd be moments I'll be like, look, you got to stop, chill, like leave it alone. You don't have to do. You already a little big already, So I just have to. That inner voice or whatever has to kind of restrain me to.
Well,
to leave
something
it.
I learned is you have triggers, and just like anything else, you know how people be like, "Oh, that's a trigger for me. Makes me want to go drink or make whatever." You have triggers with food. So mine is the smell of yeast. So I'm a bread person. I'm Italian and French, so I love my bread, and I will have cravings, or if I just have to not have it near me. I can't have it. I can't say I can't have it in the house because my kids eat it, but it's not like I'm preparing them sandwiches every day. But I have to stay away from it. And then another thing, you're going to laugh at this because my therapist, I ended up not going back to her because she laughed at me for this. I am addicted to, it has to be the brand Bar S. I don't know if you know that brand, but hot dogs. I just love hot dogs, and they have to be Bar S brand, which is the red brand. We were poor growing up, so we kind of lived on those. And I feel like that's linked, because they're like the 99-cent packs, the really cheap ones. But yeah, I have an addiction to them. Like if I have one, I want to eat 10. Like I can't. So I just don't buy hot dogs. My kids never eat hot dogs.
Why you stop seeing your therapist because of that?
Because you laughed at me. So I was like, yeah. So I was like, I think I'm very aware of when I need help. When they had this thing called OA. I went to one session and I was like, I'm good. But it's Overeaters Anonymous, but you have like eating disorders in there. You have you have, what's it called? Anorexia, bulimia. You have all different types of eating disorders. Shockingly enough, most of the people were smaller. Because me going, I was thinking, Overeaters Anonymous, there's going to be a lot of overweight people. I'm going to feel out of place because I'm not like big anymore. Yeah. And honestly, there's like one person that was overweight, and I was like, oh, okay. So, which with binge eating disorder, you can have, you could be a normal weight or a little overweight and not be morbidly obese because it's in episodes. You don't necessarily overeat 24/7. Yeah. So.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I know of binge eating. There's bodybuilders that I've talked with. They told me about binge eating and stuff like that. Yeah, never really experienced it too much. I overeat. That was my thing, because I have like a family of eaters. My father's a big eater, and I'm a big eater. So yeah.
Well, yeah, and to go back to when you said, that reminds me, when you said the generational kind of like, I was born this way or whatever. In my family, the women have booties. Like we're big waisted. We have, weight is a thing in our family. But I also believe in generational, like breaking generational
curses, right?
Curses, yeah. And my sister had this, even though she had the surgery, she's losing weight. I have a sister with a different father who's always, for most of her life, has been really skinny. But my aunts and my mom, and being overweight was just a normal thing we saw. Whether it's like a lot of overweight or just overweight, but we have the hips and I tried to tell my trainer that. He's like, no, we got this. Cause I was like, I don't know if I can lose weight down there because, you know, it runs in my family to be bigger waisted, but he's like, no, we got this. You know,
How
like,
old? Oh.
Hmm?
No, I was gonna ask like, how old are your kids? Like, I know you have like two kids. Like, and do are they inspired by you? Like, losing weight and becoming a
oh
bodybuilder?
yeah, 100%. So when we moved to California, I want to say about 2, 3 months in, after I made the team and everything, um, I started, you know, doing, I'd say about 6 months after being here when I think that's when I met my trainer. And then they had told me, Mom, you're such a better mom. And I'm like, what? Was I never a good mom? Like, what? But they're like, you know, you're happier. There's my youngest ones are 7 and 8. And then I have a now 18-year-old. And, even her, you know, we're like best friends. And she's just like, Mom, you're just definitely so much happier. My babies are mixed, and my youngest two, and my middle daughter was bullied where she came from, and she was told, you're not, you know, it was a predominantly Black school, and she was told, you're not really Black. Or my mommy, and this is in kindergarten, and she's like, my mom said you can't come to my party because you're not really Black. And you know, they would call her, and then they came home, Mommy, what's this word? And they would say the N word. You know, we don't even cuss in our house. So I'm like, yeah, that's a bad word. Never say that again. So she's very like insecure about herself. And this girl, she freaking looks like Mariah Carey. I'm like, everyone wants to look like you. Like, stop. But now she's posing. They have a kids division for her age, and I think I'm going to have her go on stage. She wants to do it. And she's building confidence within herself as well by seeing me. And they even tell me, like, I'm like, oh, can I have a piece? If they have like chocolate, I'll be like, can I
Yeah,
have a piece? They're like, Mom, is this on your diet? They're like, Mom.
that's cool.
I'm like, wow, way to put me in my place. But it's really building confidence in them. My youngest one's never really had an issue. She's like, you mess with me, I'll mess you up, you know, type of attitude. But
Yeah.
my middle one's the sensitive one. And but yeah, I caught her one day wearing my heels doing because she comes to my shows, and she was doing a little strut downstairs, and I'm like recording her, which I had posted at some point online, and I was recording her doing her little posing and everything. And then that's when I asked her, I was like, do you want to do a show? Yes. So she's working on that.
I wish her good luck. Yeah, that's cool. There is this rapper who was beefy, who who had beef with Snoop Dogg about his weight. Yeah, I remember that one. And he also says, yeah, sugar can be addictive as drugs. Sometimes I act like Pookie in New Jack City. They've been calling me, man. They be calling me, man. Yeah, you know, he's over. He was one time he was 500 pounds, and yeah, man, he just decided he wanted to lose weight. You know, he also
Mhm.
interviews female bodybuilders.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Bar S has the best luncheon ham
I
next to the
know.
Oscar LOL. Yeah,
Yes, they be getting you with that processed food. I
yeah,
be trying to cut back. You know, that's the thing though. Think about it. When I lost all my weight, I was eating a lot of tilapia, or I've gone through phases with my proteins. So, you know, it's either like tilapia, chicken breast, um, what's the other one? Tuna. Like the tuna packets,
right.
lifesaver. On the
Yeah,
go, just pop
uh,
them in. Like I carry them in my bag all the time because it's easier than having like a prep dish. But sometimes I ain't got time to do dishes. And some of our teammates even eat their food out of baggies.
right.
So they'll just like throw their baggies in there. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Do you
But
eat do you eat chicken
huh?
and rice? Do you eat chicken and rice? Out of curiosity.
I'm not on rice right now. I don't get many rice options.
Yeah,
Probably I still have I would say probably 10% body fat I want to lose. I started at 49%, so almost 50% of me was, you know, as you seen in that video, was body fat.
yeah,
Um, my lowest was 25. I'm probably up a little from that because, or no, I think I was 27 was my lowest. A healthy woman should be, I think, anywhere from 20 to 25. So I'm trying to aim towards the 20 because, you know, being on stage, you have to be less than. But yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that, but I lost a lot of body. Like I lost the whole person. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
If you could go back like in the past, like some Back to the Future time travel movie,
Mhm.
like you by some chance you see yourself, your younger self, what would you tell your younger self?
I would probably say enjoy the ride because I wouldn't change me ever being overweight. I wouldn't change I know as much as I hate the loose skin, I wouldn't change any of that because all of it's a learning um tool for me. And if I were to start off easy, and I shouldn't say easy, but if I were to start off not as far back as I was, then I wouldn't have learned and I wouldn't be who I am today. I feel like I am nice. I am caring. I am loving because of the trauma I went through as a child. I think that I am more aware of certain things because of my story, because of my history. If I could sit here all day and tell you the things I've went through as a child and as an adult, and you'd probably be like, "Wow, why are you not on meth?" Like, why aren't you out there? Because I've gone through so much, and I came. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, "Wow, I did turn out pretty decent. Like, it could be worse for me." Um, but I wouldn't change any of it because I think if say I had a privileged childhood and say that we weren't, that we were rich or something, and or even just normal, just because we were poor growing up. So say we weren't poor and we were just living a middle class life. I don't think I would be as caring and as loving and as like aware of certain things that I am today. So I wouldn't change
Yeah.
anything. I would just tell myself enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a reason why, we go through a lot of setbacks and hardships and stuff is to help us improve. We don't always see that. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Always George Page, lots of chick for me. I'll buy beef, shrimp just to break the monotony. Yeah.
I crave beef sometimes. I will crave a juicy steak. Doesn't mean I eat it. I feel like in moderation anything's okay, but um most things are okay in moderation. But a steak once every 6 months, I don't see anything wrong with that. But if I'm in prep, I really just try to stick to everything I'm supposed to stick to. But man, a juicy I like a medium well, not medium well, medium rare. And steak, I like it red in the middle.
Have you ever tried dumplings, like Chinese dumplings?
Yeah,
Like
I've had those.
yeah,
Mhm.
they you ever had like the vegetarian ones with the cabbage or like different flavors and stuff?
I don't think so. I think I've only had chicken.
Oh, oh,
It
okay.
was from Costco, the ones that I tried.
Yeah, I'm starting to eat those now. Like at times, like I'll have like the vegetarian ones. I have like the chicken. Sometimes it's like chicken and cabbage and mixed
Mhm.
into one and stuff, and
Cabbage
I'll
is
boil it.
really good for losing weight. I
Yeah,
didn't know that until I started, like in this whole fitness. Well, I don't have to worry about nutrition too much in the sense of like trying to figure out what I need because my coach just tells me everything. He's
yeah,
being more lenient now. I wouldn't say lenient, but he's being more like, come on, you can do it,
yeah,
now. So I'm figuring things out, doing research and looking things up. If I ever want to try something new, I just be like, hey coach, what about this? And he would just respond, and tell me. But I didn't know cabbage is good um for losing weight, like for burning fat.
I don't even eat cabbage like that, like once in a while. But I
I know
just
who.
like
That's what I was thinking. Who eats cabbage? Like, I'm not gonna
yeah,
go buy
yeah.
cabbage and eat it.
But like with like the dumplings and stuff, like they'll put like chicken and cabbage wrapped together, or they'll have like because I have like some that's like veggie flavored and stuff, and yeah,
So, are you still trying to be vegan?
no, no.
No. Okay.
No,
I watched
I
a
mean
vegan
that
show
that
the
was
other
like
day.
20 years. I was being a vegetarian. That was like 20 years
Oh.
ago. And
Oh.
then
Okay.
I started getting skinny. That was the thing. And people was telling me that. And I don't know. I was like, maybe I need to stop doing this because I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I could have gotten somebody, but at the time, I couldn't find anybody. So I just slowly started eating chicken and meat and
Yeah. Well, there's some things, yeah, I try to stay away from, even if my coach was like, you eat whatever protein you want. I still try to stay away from like pork
Yeah.
because it's,
I don't eat
not,
pork that much.
yeah, not for like religion reasons, but just because it's not that healthy. It's one of the
Yeah.
worst meats you can eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find lean versions and things like that, but it's just not a very clean meat. But so like that, and then people will say lamb's really good for you, but I cannot. I imagine little tiny lamb, and I'm
Nah,
like, no, I cannot eat the lamb.
I never ate that. No.
No, they eat it a lot around here. Well, people have asked me if I wanted some around here, and I'm like, oh, I don't. But chicken, I would say chicken and tuna are my number one go-tos. And tofu. My coach has put me on tofu before. I still don't know how to make it.
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean, I fry it. You know, I get it. Like, I'll go to like this vegan place that I usually go, and they'll like have like they have some dishes where you could fry it, and I know it may not be good, you know, but that's how it tastes good. You know, so I mean, very rare. I'll be one that boiled, you know, but it's good when you fry it and stuff.
I
But
air fry it, but it just tastes. There's no flavor. So I'm trying to look up different. If I could come up with a really good recipe to
you
make
put
it
like
taste
salt
good,
or like black
we're
pepper.
low sodium.
Oh, no, not too much sodium for you, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
especially leading up
I
to
don't
the
know what
show.
to tell you.
I know. I was like, I told my coach, I said, I'm white. So my only
Yeah,
two seasonings are salt and pepper. And you're telling me I have to take one of them out. What am I supposed to do? No.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I usually they have low sodium salt, but it
Yeah.
has like an off taste to it.
Oh,
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. I tried putting it in 0-calorie hot sauce.
right.
Like, 'cause I like hot sauce, but then it's just like licking hot sauce off of your finger or something. There's like nothing in there. You may as well just drink the bottle.
Yeah. Oh, let me. Your story is an inspiration for people like myself who has been poor and trying to change my environment. And he also says, my steak well done. And yeah, I just had a pork chop this afternoon. To be deviating, George, I swear, man. By lemon pepper and paprika for seasoning.
I do have
Yeah.
those pepper and paprika, and put it on for the tofu, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Should I mash it? Like I've seen people make it like mashed potatoes before.
I don't
Maybe
know
to
if
get
you're
the
gonna like
seasoning
it.
in it.
I don't know if you're gonna like that. But what you gonna mash it in with rice or something?
No, I was just gonna mash it in a bowl and put some
Uh,
seasoning in it.
no, I don't know.
I'm a new cook.
He
I'm
said,
learning to
yeah,
cook.
mash it.
Okay.
He said, yeah, mash it.
Look, from
Well,
being like we cooked basic, dishes when we were kids. So like we had spaghetti a lot because it's a cheaper, food and everything. So
yeah,
my coach had said something to me recently this past year that made me want to learn how to cook, because when you come from someone, I know, as contrary as it may sound, when you're poor or don't have money and you're living off like EBT or whatever, you do tend to buy a lot of boxed meals, which are
yeah,
high, processed, high fats, whatever. So that's what I was buying for my kids. And looking back, I feel like a bad mom doing that. But then I'm like, you know what? No, I'm learning. So now I'm trying to cook them, make sure I cook them food, like actual meat, and then a veggie. I always make sure there's a fruit on the dish. And I'm slowly moving them away from those processed foods. But yeah, it was easier. So I'm learning to cook. That's why I'm telling you this. So I'm getting there. I'm doing better. We'll see
yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah, it's not easy, like, especially when you're on that type of thing, EBT. I've been on for years, and sometimes you just get whatever sustains you. So it's not very easy. So he also says, yeah, that's what my mom had to do, squeezing dollars to feed a family. I don't
And
have a
hitting
big
up the
family.
pantries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did the pantries. One thing I do like about California, well, there's a couple of things I like about California, but one of them is that when we first moved here as a military family, we realized, it's really expensive. When you go from places, you don't,
I
so
heard
I
LA
hit up a couple.
is LA
Yeah.
is definitely expensive.
But I hit up a couple pantries here, and they only, I want to say like 95% of their things are only healthy. Like they only
Yeah,
give you healthy food. In
that's
Missouri, where
good.
I'm originally from,
Yeah.
they don't. They give you like fruit roll-ups and like I can't like the comparison's so off. It's not even. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But here they give you like fresh grown vegetables. They give you like a couple packages of frozen meat. Not a lot of processed things. So that's a good thing that California does that other states may not.
That's good. I'm not even sure New York do that.
Is that where you're from, New
Yeah,
York?
I'm in New York City. Yeah, I
Oh,
probably
okay.
I didn't say it earlier, but I'm in New York City, so yeah. But anyway, I really appreciate you giving me your time and let me know more about you and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I hope everything be well for you, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, well, I have like an outro and you can check it out and other than that, hope you have a blessed year and yeah. What's all the way, George? Yeah, here in North Carolina, we had a pantry that gives healthy food, but they will give you cookies, cakes, down. Oh my
Oh
God,
my goodness.
George, that's crazy, George, man.
That
Good luck
is.
on your next contest, he
Thank
says.
you. Thank you.
All right.